throw a whole enormous.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1195 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, and we're here with the Daily Swole. What's going on? If it's your first time watching live, if you're popping your virgin swole cherry, make sure you drop in the comments. And ooh, Daddy's got a shirt on. I got my lift heavy shit shirt on because today we're talking about women lifting heavy and why women are afraid to be fucking swole, why women are afraid to lift weights. We've talked about this many times, and why are women afraid to lift weights? It continues. There are classic reasons and there are new reasons, and I want to discuss some of those and hear your thoughts and kind of discuss what you do as a female and as you do as a male, and as you've seen as a male, what your experience is with people that are afraid to lift weights. They don't want to get big. What are those other reasons? Are there any other reasons besides I don't want to build muscle? I'm afraid to get big. Whenever I lift, I get so big. That's what women say all the fucking time. I don't want to, every time I lift, I build so much muscle. I get so big when I lift. No, you don't. Let's jump right into it. No, you fucking don't. Hitting the ground running with this episode. You do not build muscle fast. You don't. You don't build muscle fast. You're not getting all these results in a couple weeks. You're not just, I touch weights. Every time it's the same people that look at food, and say, when I look at food, I gain weight. When I look at food, I gain weight. I just gain weight when I look at food. No one gains weight by looking at food. No one in history, no one in absolute fucking history has ever gained weight by eating food. I mean, by looking at food. Jesus Christ. Everyone gains weight by eating food. No one gains weight by looking at food. No one gains weight by looking at food. You go to a buffet and stare at it. You can stare at that fucking buffet. You can stare at that fucking buffet for days, for weeks, for fucking years. You'll never gain weight. You just straight up will not gain weight. You can look. Same thing as going to the gym and just looking at the weights. How much muscle are you going to build by working at the front desk? You don't have to answer that. I already know, because I see people that work at the front desks at gyms. You don't gain weight. You don't gain weight. You don't lose weight. I mean, you don't build muscle. You don't get in better shape by working at a gym. So you don't get in better shape by working at a buffet or by looking at food. You're not just going to magically get big. And even more detailed, for women that actually lift weights, listen, I hate to break it to you, but with all the gender talk and with everyone just deciding what they want to be from day to day, you can't just all of a sudden produce testosterone, ladies. You can't just go to the gym, start lifting weights, and oh my God, I just bulk up so fast. Guys don't bulk up so fast. Guys go to the gym and don't see fucking change. Women, you have to go and slam weights as hard and as often as any dude, if not more, to put on muscle mass. Where are my ladies at that bulk up too quick? Are you watching? How many of you ladies here lift heavy and don't get fat? Like, you don't get big. If you are a woman, I'm just going to fucking rant on this for a while. We'll just have this discussion. If you are going to lift weights and you feel bigger, or your measurements are bigger, because most people don't measure. Most people just say, I feel, because you feel big. You feel big. You feel me, fam? Most people lift weights and feel big because they're inflamed, because their body feels tight, because your muscles are swollen, transitionally, because you just got a pump on, because they are inflamed for recovering, and it's pushing the fat out. It's pushing the skin. It's pushing the body fat, the subcutaneous fat outwards. You're not fucking getting bigger. You're just pushing the fat out. You're pushing the fat out. You're building muscle underneath. You're swollen underneath. Think about what that actually means. I know this is Swolenormous. I know this is a Daily Swole. I know we get fucking yoked here like it ain't no joke. However, that's just what it is in the gym. When you're swollen, you're inflamed. You're inflamed. You're pulsing. You're bruised. You're damaged. You have micro tears. You have micro tears, you have micro trauma, your body is banged up, and your body is banged up. So you have to recover. It's a response. It's a negative feedback response. Your body has inflammation. So your body sends out the deal. It sends out carpenters, little cells that help rebuild the muscle tissue, that help clear out byproducts from exercise. Your body takes care of it. It's a signal to your body like, hey, we need help down here. We got to repair these biceps. We got to repair these calves. We got to repair and restore balance, etc., to the quads, to the glutes, and whatever it is. So whatever you're exercising, whatever you're training, your body is always constantly trying to balance itself out. Your body is always trying to repair, to build, to break down. You're never just storing calcium or storing glycogen. You're storing, you're releasing, you're reabsorbing and restoring. Your body is always cycling through to create a balance. If there's less blood sugar, your body releases into the bloodstream. If there's too much, it tries to remove it. It's always going back and forth. So we think of the body, oh, it's doing this, and the body does this, and the body does this. It's doing everything all the fucking time. All the fucking time. That's why it's so hard. That's why it's so hard to do scientific studies with humans, because there's so many different factors that can relate, and even the ones we don't know about. So there's so many different factors and so many different mechanisms going on simultaneously. So you have to account for all of those. And if you're not accounting for all those mechanisms, then, well, you don't have a complete test. You haven't done complete research yet. That's why there's so many studies. And we're going to get off on the woods on that one. But when it comes to women lifting weights, people think that they get big because they have temporary inflammation. They're pushing their fat out. Women, you're not producing testosterone like dudes. You're not getting fucking yoked. You're not getting yoked by just touching weights. Okay? You don't have an Adam's apple. You don't have a dick. You're not pumping out testosterone. You're not getting huge. So the classic reason why people didn't lift weights, why women specifically didn't lift weights, was because they didn't want to look like a man. They didn't want to look manly. So now we know that when women lift weights, they don't look manly. Okay? So we know that now. However, through all that time, this is why women are still having this issue. This is why women still message me, I don't want to get big. I don't want to get too bulky. I put on weight so fast. I get these messages all the time. Why do I still get them when we know now? It's pretty much common knowledge. We see it everywhere. Women lifting, and they're not big. They're not manly. They're not fucking huge unless they're taking testosterone. Unless they're taking exogenous hormones, they're not going to build muscle like guys unless they're taking shit, right? They're injecting or oral or whatever it is. So we have this education now with social media and the internet. We know that a lot of women work out and they don't get bulky. They don't get manly. Yes, it's a fucking shirt. It's a shirt. It says lift heavy shit because I want women to start fucking lifting heavy shit. So women don't want to get big, whatever. Now what we have here is we have a time where we understand women aren't going to get bulky from lifting. But what's super popular everywhere is CrossFit. CrossFit and group exercise and these types of powerlifting, that women that are relentlessly powerlifting, eating tons of calories, very, very likely many of them taking stuff that's not, kosher, so to speak, in terms of what people would call natural training. And I don't personally have any real, I give zero fucks if someone does. Like even the CrossFit, like the men, the competition, come on, people are, of course they're taking shit. Of course people are taking things to get an edge. Everyone does in competition, especially when it's not really regulated, because it doesn't have to be. But whether or not it affects me personally, I don't like it unless people are lying about it. I don't like it unless people are profiting. And unfortunately they are, but if someone takes something, it's on you. That's your choice. It doesn't really affect me personally. So in that sense, you can make your own choices. But women that are in CrossFit, and this gets very publicized because a lot of people that are big influencers on YouTube and Instagram are part of that CrossFit scene, or they are CrossFit themselves, right? They're sponsored by someone in CrossFit. They compete in the games and things. And women that just do powerlifting, because your body will adapt. And even though women, you're not producing testosterone like that, if you're doing powerlifting all the time and heavy strength all the fucking time, you're going to develop a more boxy physique. You're going to develop, that's what gymnasts look like that. They look like fucking bowling balls. That's why these people, when it comes to the gymnastic aspects of the rings, you have the snatch, you have the deadlifts, you have the cleans, all these movements. make you very wide because your body, when you're doing powerlifting, you need a base. Think about a pyramid. So an actual pyramid, when you're building a building, you want it to be wider at the bottom so it has balance. And of course, there's different ways to create this interesting architecture where you can have a wider top, I'm sure, but I'm not an architect, so we're not going to get into that kind of physics and shit. But imagine for stability, you want a wider base. So if you're a rudimentary, you're a 5-year-old, you're trying to build a stable structure out of sand, you're going to build a wider base and a thinner top. So when you're doing a lot of powerlifting, when your body is required to resist this weight, to prevent the weight from coming back to the ground, resisting gravity, your body needs to create a wider base. So it's one of those logical adaptations for your body muscularly and skeletal structure, skeletally, bony. Your neuromuscular and your musculoskeletal system is going to go wider to create a bigger base, to create a more surface area, more contact, just a lower center of gravity, wider center of gravity, whatever the fucking correct terminology is. Biomechanics people, you can drop in the comments below, but you know what I mean. You create a wider base. Now, it doesn't mean your feet are getting fatter, but it means if you are a wider person, you're going to be able to stabilize that weight more. So you're not going to grow up, if that makes sense. Obviously, your muscles aren't going to grow up unless you're only doing trap work. So when you're building muscle, your muscles and the mechanical resistance and the vector forces, your body naturally is going to go wider in order to create more stability for those lifts, a wider base. And for women that do that regularly, of course, you're going to develop and you're going to go wider. This is how it's going to go. But a lot of these people that you see and a lot of big time influencers, popular people, pages with big followings, not all of them, of course. So I'm not just trying to say, oh, everyone that's popular is taking something, everyone that's in good shape. No, it's not true. But there's so many different things. There's so many different things that you can take. That's not just like testosterone. You can take so many different things like SARMs and oral substances. And there are hundreds of different ones that don't make you big, that make you leaner or make you thicker, or make you stronger, or make you recover faster, but don't make you bigger muscularly. There are a lot of different things that can help you recover. So there are a lot of things that people take in order to train more often, train harder. And it doesn't necessarily mean like this is going to get me yoked. But if you decrease your recovery time by taking something, you'll be able to lift more often. And even though it might not make you stronger directly, if you recover faster and you get more sessions in, you're going to get more volume in. You're going to get stronger faster because of your recovery time. That's one of the big things. If you can decrease how long you recover, you can increase how often you lift. How do we avoid the boxiness? Don't do a ton of powerlifting. That's how I would, if you don't want to get big, if you don't want to get super big in terms of like wide, here's what women should generally stay away from. Now, I'm not saying you should stay away from any of these, and I'm not saying that doing them will get you wide by default. But if you're crushing these types of lifts a lot, it's very likely to make you wider. You know, anytime you do tons of ring work, you're going to get wider. You just get a lot of development in the upper body, the lats and the shoulders. That's why gymnasts and women that do that, they look very fucking boom. You got that flared lat, you got the wide shoulder caps because it's so taxing and so much overload on the shoulders, and very like compound movements. Even squats can get people a little bit wide around the waist. You deadlift, heavy deadlifts, heavy squats over time. You know, things like clean snatches, all those things over time. And it depends on how heavy you go. It depends on how heavy you go, because if you're doing more repetitions or you're doing sets more for form and you're doing higher reps and you're doing higher rep squats, it's going to be a little bit different because your body will have different adaptations. So your body has certain adaptations for strength. Your body has certain adaptations for hypertrophy, which is the muscle area. And your body has different ones for like endurance. So there are different ways your body can get stronger, and it's just an adaptation. So it depends on what you are, what your goal is. So it doesn't mean you can't squat, doesn't mean you can't do deadlifts, doesn't mean you can't do ring work, but you can imagine if you're fucking doing that over and over and over again, competitively, hard, that's a major focus. You're doing that quite often. You're doing a lot of failure reps. You're eating a sufficient enough calories to handle that kind of overload and that kind of frequency. And eventually you just get bigger in those muscles. Your body's not going to get bulky in areas where you're not training it. People generally don't have like just massive, like normally like huge calves just out of nowhere. They're usually walking on the balls of their feet ever since they're little. If you know people that are toe walkers, or they kind of balance on their tippy toes ever since they're a baby, they usually have big calves for a reason, because fucking 30, 40 years of doing like a nonstop calf raise will probably jack up a muscle pretty good. So those are general things. But of course, certain people, if you have 100 people or 1,000 people or 100,000 people, if you have 100,000 people and everyone does the same workout, think about this too. There's going to be a percentage of people that get huge shoulders. Let's say you do total body workout. There's some people that will get much bigger biceps or have bigger shape and better shape. There's some people that have bigger calves as a result of that program. There's some of those people that will have a little bit of everything. There's some people that will still have a gut. There's some people that have abs. There's some people, you standardize everything across. If you could control that many people and eliminate all the variables, you're still going to have people that are adapting differently in different areas of the body, all things being equal. So for all the people that do CrossFit or that type of training and lift heavy in that sense, not everyone is going to get as wide. Not everyone is going to get as thick, because you have the genetics. You also have the, the caloric intake, what's going on with nutrition, what's going on with hydration, what's going on with sleep, what other things are going on besides those lifts. So there's a lot of other factors when it comes to how big a woman's going to get. So it's not like that simple. It's not that, oh, you do CrossFit or you do squats, you're going to get a wider waist. But look at people, you have to look at the extremes to see where it goes. If you want to see what happens when you just do powerlifting and when you just do heavy, heavy strength as a female, look at people that compete with heavy strength and look at where that goes. Just look at the extremes. If you want to use the extreme for like endurance training versus high intensity, shorter duration, look at the difference between marathon runners and sprinters. That's two different types of bodies for two different purposes. It's like the same thing as a sprinter would be a Porsche, and a marathon or an endurance athlete would be, let's say the marathon runner. Let's say the Porsche is, the sprinter is a Porsche, and the marathon runner, let's just say, would be an SUV 4x4. So the difference between those is, okay, the sprinter, the Porsche, can go really fast, and that's it. If it goes off road, it's going to just fucking get destroyed. And let's say the marathon runner was like one of those trail ultra marathon runners. They're going through like rivers, ravines, or climbing up mountains and doing that. That's what the 4x4 would be. That's what the truck or the Jeep or something would be. And obviously that's one extreme. You're not going to race with the Jeep. And obviously the Porsche, you're not going to go off road. So they have two specific adaptations, but those are extremes. Those are other ends of the spectrum. Why do you think those cars that are kind of in between SUV, minivan, station wagon, they're called crossovers? Because it's a cross. So most people, when we do training, we have kind of a crossover. We do yoga. Well, this is ideal. So you do yoga and you do resistance training and you do some cardio and you do some foam rolling and you do some, you're in the middle. Most people are in the middle. Most people are in the middle of the middle. We're just kind of like around doing stuff generally. We're doing stuff for how we look. We're doing stuff for our health. We're doing stuff for how we feel. We're doing stuff what's convenient, because the way I train, honestly, I do train very conveniently for myself. So do I not do certain types of activity because it's not as convenient? Sure. I don't go rock climbing because I'm in Florida. There's no fucking rocks. I don't go to a rock climbing gym because it's too much time away. It's not that interesting to me. I do like it, but I'm not going to go and do that regularly. So it's just not a convenient form of exercise for me. So I do things that are convenient to me, that fit my schedule, that will get me my goals, and what is optimal and what is maximal anyway. So I don't have any goals to be on stage or to hit a certain body weight. That's not where I'm at. So if you have certain goals and certain things, you need to practice them. You need to go rock climbing if you want to get better. You need to go swimming if you want to get better, whether or not it's convenient. And then you try to make it as convenient and as consistent as possible. So it's just adaptation. Everything is adaptation. Everything you do. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't give you guys any pup yet. Everything is adaptation. Every little thing is your body responding. It's all a response. That's what adaptation is. If you move to a colder climate, your body, like your blood's going to thicken. Your body is going to adapt over time, over years, months and years, in order to handle that type of, in order to handle the cold. When I first came down to Florida, for example, I was really hot all the time. I'm still hot now. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I just jack up the AC more. But when I first came down, I would go to the beach in the winter down here. So now it's freezing to me. But when I first moved down here, Low 70s was hot. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm on the beach. Now, if it's not 95, I'm like, nah, it's cold. It's 80s. Ooh, I'm not going to the beach today. Could I go to the beach? Sure. I'm not going to be freezing, but you just get used to the weather. For people that aren't used to the humidity and the heat, you're going to come and be like, oh my God, it's so fucking hot. But we're used to it now. People that live down here, same thing. But your body will adapt to, if you expose your body. So imagine the weights and how you lift as being hot or cold. It's a weather. You're creating an environment. You're creating a storm in the gym. So depending on the type of storm, depending on the type of natural disaster, is it going to be a flood? Different kind of adaptation your body or your city needs, right? If it's going to be a drought, if it's going to be a lightning storm, if it's going to be a tornado. So whatever type of training and environment you create in the gym, that's what your body is going to adapt to outside. That's how your body is going to change. Your body is going to adapt to the storm you create, the environment you create in the gym. If you go into the gym, you're always doing high repetitions, not a lot of weight, you're going to failure, you're doing a lot of calisthenics. And then what do you think you're going to adapt to? Are you going to get a ton of muscle? No, probably not. Maybe some rare genetic freaks will build muscle with that. Most people won't. Can you lose weight? Sure. Can you lose fat? Sure. Can you build some muscle? Sure. Can you look better and feel? Sure. When you can lift weights, okay, you can lift weights, you can go heavy, you can blah, blah, blah. You can go and do fucking Zumba. You can go and do yoga. So whatever adaptation and things that you expose your body to. So a couple things that are important. It's important to program design and make sure you're getting enough rest and recovery, and that you're setting yourself up to be consistent, because it's very easy to bite off more than you can chew and just try to be playing catch up. It's very easy to try to go twice a day. Oh, twice a day is better, or training each body part twice a week is better, or 3 times a week is better. It's not better unless it is better. It's not better for you unless it is better for you. And you won't know unless you try it. You won't know unless you apply that. And most people won't try. They're just going to follow something and never experiment and tweak. And everything can be tweaked. So when it comes back to ladies lifting heavy, ladies, you can tweak what you do. If you're in control of your own fitness, unless you're going to an exercise class or a group training class or CrossFit, where you're in a community and you can't really customize at the same level because you're following some kind of prescribed program or the WOD or whatever the hell you're doing. And that kind of training is just blanket. In many cases, it's blanket just to challenge people. So you have a good workout, but that doesn't necessarily cause an adaptation unless it's appropriately programmed and it's kept consistent and you're not getting hurt and it's scaled and all those different things, which I know CrossFit is getting better with, because when they grew really fast, they shotgunned their brand out and you got a bad reputation in many cases because quality and quantity. You get a lot of quantity and the quality just plummeted, and it still sucks because it's so high risk and so chaotic that it's still going. It's you can't control it to an extent, but it has gotten better, I'm sure. And just like most things that get more exposure with social media and people talking about it, usually the cream will rise to the top and people get more and more savvy to what's going on. And social media is there. Fitness is coming around more and more with accounts like mine and Alan Roberts and Michelle's. So we have a lot more people and a lot more awareness of the bullshit and all the things that are kind of floating around that distract people from the real hard work and the real exercise physiology. James from Shredded Sports Science, all this information that is now more and more accessible to the masses. So it's not just, for elite scientists and people with degrees that get this information. Everyone can access this information, and more people are aware that it exists and that there is information like this to even obtain. And then it's something that you build on. It's something that you learn, and you build your own little knowledge pyramid, right? That knowledge cock pyramid, that'd be weird. Like a pyramid just built up of knowledge cocks. That didn't come out right. That doesn't sound like it's an interesting visual. That's a strange visual. So I'll let you all mull over that for a couple seconds. Let me jump into the comments. You're 6 foot, so everything is too short. We're talking about height. Let's see what's going on here. How do I define training hard? I don't define training hard, really. That depends on the person. my perception of challenging is much different than some of your perceptions of challenging. You know, for some people that maybe have gone through a lot of like real world trauma in their life, I don't think lifting is going to be that much of a challenge. So it's relative. Mentally training hard, it's like, you know, that's the big thing. Training hard is relative when it's physical. It's all about being, you know, progressive overload and making sure your body is getting that kind of stimulus. But the mental training, it's more, what holds people back more is psychologically. You're not taking off the governor. You're holding something back. It's very hard to unlock your brain and to get your body to move forward with a certain training program or a workout in the moment that's putting it under stress. So psychologically, and we talk about this a lot on the podcast, psychologically, it's very strenuous to do a lifting session and to go to failure and to push yourself past where your body is comfortable. When you get that burn, when it hurts, when your body wants to stop and wants to quit, and you're saying, no, fuck you, we're still going, it's hard to override those natural defense mechanisms in the human body. It's not like something that you just automatically do. You have to learn that, oh, that's good pain. Oh, that's not, I'm going to break my leg or my arm's not going to rip off. Oh, my arm's not going to explode. I can do 5 more reps. And you don't know that until you do 5 more reps, until you do that and you realize, and you just train your body, oh, this is what happens. It's going to get sore, it's going to burn, but then it's going to go away, and we're going to be able to do another set. And then tomorrow it's going to hurt, it's going to be sore, you're going to be stiff for a little bit. We'll do yoga, we'll massage, we'll recover, we'll sleep, we'll eat, we'll hydrate, and then it'll go away and we'll do it again. It'll be fine. And when your body realizes, oh, this just happens and we just do that, that's the adaptation. Oh, this is what happens. We do this and then we go back and we repair, and I'll repair that. And then, okay, cool. Your body is literally learning a skill. You're training an employee to repair your muscles. Think about that. For any of you that own their own businesses and stuff like that, you're training an employee, you're guiding someone. You have kids, you're teaching them something. You're teaching your body how to repair. You're teaching your body how to recover. You're teaching your body how to go from one workout session to the next. That's why it takes a little bit of time. It takes time for people to learn things, especially your body that doesn't have like, well, we can get into that conversation about consciousness and shit, but that's, you know, your body, who knows what's going on, what other mechanisms are going on, but you control what you can. You expose your body to something over and over again, and then you'll get change. That's how simple it is. And the more relentless and consistent you are with providing your body with the tools for repair and the stress for that change that's required for that change. And if you just put your body under that kind of stress consistently enough, eventually you'll be like, fuck this. I need to build muscle or lose fat and fuck. Again, where are you getting, if you're trying to lose weight, ladies, gentlemen, if you're trying to lose fat and you're not eating enough calories to maintain, you're going to lose. No one's eating less calories and just magically holding on to weight. No one does. No one does. You're not eating extra calories. Oh, but I eat everything. I eat all the fucking time. I eat every 30 minutes. I eat every hour, and I just can't gain weight. Then you're not eating enough. I don't care if you're eating 30 times a day. If you're eating 2,000 calories and you need 2,500 to grow, you ain't going to grow, Joe. You ain't going to gain weight from energy, excess energy you don't have. Your body, you're not swallowing air and getting value. You're not getting calories from air. Sorry, breatharians. Ain't gonna happens. Ain't gonna fucking happen. It's not gonna fucking happen. Ain't gonna do it. Your body is, with what energy? Just magic. You know, just fucking create it. Let me just create fucking energy. A conversation about consciousness. Oh, we're going to go deep on some of these podcasts. How do you know when it's real gains and inflammation, bloating passes? Are you talking to me? Bloating. Inflammation, you mean in the muscles? How do you know when it's real gains? Well, the only reason you know if it's real gains, are you increasing in strength? That doesn't mean you're necessarily getting bigger, because when you increase in strength, you're also getting more coordinated. So there's different levels of strength, different types of strength, in the sense that you might go from, if you're a beginner, you might go from lifting 20 pounds to 40 pounds in the first couple months or the first month, really fast. Like, oh my God, you're getting so big so fast. Not so fast. Hold on a second. So when you gain weight or you increase in strength in a short period of time at the beginning of your lifting career or a new exercise, it's coordination. It's neuromuscular coordination. You're not getting hypertrophy. You're not getting bigger muscle fibers. Your body is just coordinating the systems better. So you have intramuscular communication. So you have the muscle kind of communicating and synchronizing fibers within the muscle itself, making sure they're all activating or as much as possible. And then you have intermuscular coordination where you have the biceps working with the posterior deltoid, with the latissimus, with all these different muscles. So you have that synergistic action. And then once you coordinate things, it's like riding a bike. Your body goes, oh, we hit these fibers and we hit this peak force and blah, blah, blah. So you're gaining coordination. So you're going to see people gaining a lot of strength at the beginning, but they're not going to be getting bigger muscularly. It's just the coordination. So it's just the coordination at the beginning when you first start lifting. If I'm a gaining phase, you're in a gaining phase, what would be a typical or suggested amount to gain in 1 month or week's time? You mean in terms of muscle? For a female, for a month, maybe a pound of muscle. Maybe a pound of muscle, maybe 2 if you're like going fucking nuts. That's very individualized. It depends a lot. You can Google that and get like, okay, what's the average? I don't know what those studies are lately, if there has been any new ones. But for anyone, it's only like a couple pounds a month, if that. Like 1 or 2, maybe for females, maybe less, maybe more. Again, it depends. Like if you're crushing everything perfectly, who knows? Like what can I do to tell you unless you're getting underwater weighed or you're doing DEXA scans? So you're not going to know. If you go on a scale and after a month, you're like, wow, I was 122 and now I'm 130. You didn't put on 8 pounds of fucking muscle unless you're on a nice juicy cycle of testosterone or something similar. So you're not gaining that much muscle. You're gaining a lot of water there and probably fat too if you're getting that much, but you have a little bit extra water retention. You're eating because you have more inflammation. You're training hard, this, that, and the other. You're also gaining a little bit of fat maybe. So maybe you gain a pound of muscle, a couple pounds of water, a couple pounds. It depends. And plus you flip-flop. You're going to gain and lose a pound or 2, 3 pounds of water day to day. So you might weigh 126 on Tuesday and then 128 on Wednesday and then 125 on Thursday and then 123 and then 125. It might not be that drastic of a fluctuation, but it depends on what time of day. It depends on what you're doing. It depends on, there's a lot of different like factors when it comes to weight. So how would you actually measure that, Jennifer? That's an even better question. You're not going to know. That's the thing. If you're just stepping on a scale, you don't have the accurate information. Calipers are not going to give you accurate information. So does it really matter how much you're actually gaining? Does it really matter if you can't even measure it? You see what I'm saying? A lot of people get hung up on measuring. You can measure yourself with a ruler. You can measure yourself you can step on a scale in the morning after you go to the bathroom, number 1 and number 2, and you can take pictures and then go by how you feel and eyeball it. Like, does it matter if you're 18 or 16% body fat to anyone? If you're having a body, the only reason you need to know your body fat percentage, when you're in shape, I'm not talking about when you're morbidly obese. Like, it doesn't even matter then. If you look in the mirror and you're like, whoa, shit, I'm fat. Does it matter if you're 25 or 23 or 27 or 30? Does it really matter? Does it matter if you're 18% or 16 or 17? It doesn't matter unless you're in a body fat percentage competition, which no one does. No one does. Not even bodybuilding is a body fat percentage competition. You need muscle symmetry. You need posing. You need definition, striation. You need all these different things. It's not just a body fat percentage. You need proportion, all those different things. So there's no such thing as a body fat percentage competition unless you're doing some weight loss challenge. And the winner, if you lose more weight than or more percentage than the other person, you win $500. Oh, yay. Coffee burp, motherfuckers. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What's up, Papa Swole? Yo. Oh. Ooh. Excuse me. Yolanda, what's up, girl? What up, girl? It is fucking hard to get huge as a woman. Why are all my girlfriends scared to touch weights? They act like lifting 20 pounds will make them look like a man. Preach and preach and preach and preach. It won't. My weight fluctuates as much as 8 pounds in a day. Ooh, depending on how I eat and hydrate. You see? That's a lot. That's a big fluctuation. 8 pounds. But yeah, it would depend on that. How much protein? See, those things are so individualized. Go by your lean mass. I think it's like 0.8 kilograms, 0.8 grams per kilogram of lean mass. or a gram per pound of lean mass. People usually that's a good place to start, I would assume, just off the top of my head, like 0.8 to a gram per pound of lean mass. That's a general place to start, I think a lot of people. And you might read places that's too much. I don't know what I currently do, but that's what you want to make sure that you recognize when you read. If you go on Google and you start looking at like, oh, what should I do? A lot of people say 1 gram per pound of body weight. Think about that, a gram per pound of body weight. Well, most of your body weight isn't muscle mass. You're not getting, your brain isn't like pounding protein. Your brain wants fat, sugar. So a gram per pound of body weight. So if you're 200 pounds and you're 20% body fat, like you don't need 200 grams, you're over consuming. So a good place to start would be a percentage of your lean mass. So you need to know approximately what your lean mass is. And I would just stay around that. Like one of the ways that you can do like more recomposition, maybe build some muscle, maybe lose some fat at the same time. Maybe if you're new to training or you have like a specific amount of like extra body fat, it might be more realistic, is just to increase the protein slowly and then play around with the carbohydrates. Because a lot of people tend to overeat carbohydrates, up the fiber, decrease the net carbs. You don't have to do ketosis, but be a little bit more mindful of that. That's what I would always do, because when you flush out water, the reason why people lose a lot of weight right away on ketosis is because water, forget exactly the mechanism, but it binds to glucose. So when you're cutting out carbs, your body will flush out water. So people do keto and wow, I lost 10 pounds in a week. You lost 9 pounds of muscle. I mean, not muscle, maybe, but 9 pounds of water. So when people do low carb diets, they lose a lot of weight right away, but it's water depletion. You get dehydrated and then it affects your performance. So being dehydrated is really dangerous for performance, cramping, but just like strength. Like if you're dehydrated, if you go to the gym and you're feeling sluggish or you're feeling weak and and it's because you're dehydrated, you might not realize that you're dehydrated, but it'll drastically affect your performance, strength, recovery. So chug tons of water. Speaking of which, everyone, wherever you're watching or listening, just grab your water bottle. Water break. Even if you're listening to this podcast not live, just everyone pause and drink water. I'm gonna make some noises while I drink so you can make oh yeah. Let's do that more often. Let's do water break more often, because if I'm here and I'm just like chugging, everyone's gonna be like, this is annoying. But if we just do a group water break, I'll have to get a water break scene. So I hit the button and it'll be like, dun, 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 dun. Music will play. Dun, 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 dun. Little water break dance. Maybe a little image of me like dancing across the screen. Like, yeah, water dance. It's water dance. I'm gonna get a water burp coming soon. Hold on. This is the price you pay. Oh God, it's stuck. Ooh, it's hold on, fam. All right. She looks annoyed. She's sleeping. She doesn't give a shit. Pups doesn't give a fuck. Look at her just laying there. Yo, Beesh. Sexy Beesh. Baby girl. Mama. Hey. I hope she's alive. She doesn't look alive. You alive? Oh, she blinked. All right. Unless it's one of those like twitches after like the dog passes and she's kind of like, eh. That's how her eye kind of move. She's good. Yeah, she's breathing. Cool. All right, we're safe. We're good. I hate when burps get stuck. I know, it's right. Especially you hate when burps get stuck. I think you'd hate when burps get stuck when you're live on a podcast. When you're live streaming, it's like, oh God. That's why that's why with the podcast, I've never hid anything that I do. I'm like, I got to burp. Because if I'm going to do this every fucking day, there's going to be times when I have to burp. There's going to be times when I have to do other things. And I need to just do them. And you have to get used to it and be like, all right, if he has to burp, he's going to burp. And I'm going to call it. I'm just not going to burp in the microphone because I'm not an asshole. Well, I am a little bit of an asshole, but I'm not going to blow your fucking ear holes out. But if I'm going to burp, if I need to burp, I'm going to do it. I can't, fuck. It's in there. I'm not going to be able to get it. I'm going to have to like literally, And you're gonna get all grossed out if I have to like try to pop that out there. Grunting while drinking is my new thing now. It should always be just, Just tuned in. The first thing hearing Papa Swole loudly chugging water is interesting. Nice. You see? Yeah, we're starting some new shit here. Everything just gets started. Everything is just, this is going to be I told you, this is going to be, the Daily Swole is going to be like the nexus of civilization in 100 years. Everyone's just going to be walking around. Everyone's just going to regress back to grunting. You're going to go to like the supermarket and be like, well, actually, you're not going to be leaving the house because of delivery, but everyone's going to start grunting at each other. If you're not sure, you'd be like, stay hydrated, my friends. Stay hydrated, my friends. Everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? What's he doing? What are we talking about? Do we really need a gallon of water daily? Need? You don't, need or should you have? Go by a good way is, honestly, it's going by your urine. It depends on how active you are. I live in a hot climate that's humid, so I'm always sweating. Of course, I have the air conditioning on. I work out once or twice a day if I'm doing yoga too, and I'm sweating a lot doing yoga. So I always hydrate plenty. And plus, if you're drinking coffee, it's a diuretic. So if you're a coffee drinker like myself, make sure you just keep on drinking water. Just drink and go to the bathroom. You'll know. If I don't drink enough water, I'll tend to cramp and stuff, and that's not acceptable. So I make sure I drink plenty of coffee and water. But a lot of people, it's good to drink that much water. I think the general thing is half your body weight in ounces. So if you're 200 pounds, 100 ounces of water. And what is there in a gallon? 128 in a gallon, right? So 128 ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, half your body weight, and this is a real approximation. If you're sweating like crazy and you need more water, then drink more water. So if you're 200 pounds, 100 ounces of water, it's a little bit less than a gallon. It's like 3/4 of a gallon. So if you're exercising, you're 200 pounds, that would make sense, wouldn't it? So if you're exercising too, you drink another liter of water because of your exercise. So if you're 200 pounds and you're exercising a gallon, that math would work out. Maybe even a little bit more. So it depends. Look, drinking a little bit extra water for a week to see how you perform and how you feel. Remember, it's not going to hurt you unless you're excessively like overdoing it. You're going to be fine. But one of the things to remember is if you're increasing your water intake, that's a volume in your stomach. So when you drink water, you're going to feel full. If you're not used to drinking another liter of water during the day, you might feel a little bit more like, oh my God, my stomach. So there's that learning curve and that adaptation period of just having extra fluid in your stomach. So there's that part too. So it's going to feel like you're drinking a lot extra when you're really not drinking that much. Your body's just not used to drinking that much more. 8 cups of coffee a day. Holy shit, Aaron. Holy shit. Holy shit. You could snort caffeine and not feel a fucking thing. God damn, bro. Your farts are getting worse. Oh, farts getting stuck are worse. I'm like, I'm not going to fart on camera. Do I grunt while drinking in the gym? I grunt while I'm lifting. I'm like, If you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. That's true. It really is true. And a lot of times the hunger mechanism in the body is so weak that your body will trigger, or your thirst mechanism is so weak, your body will trigger hunger rather than thirst because it wants moisture. And your body gets moisture from food. So a lot of these hunger cravings that you're having are oftentimes water and hydration related too. That's why, if you've heard this before, one of the little mini hacks to make sure that you're eating, not that you're trying to fill yourself up, but you want to make sure that the hunger you're feeling is accurate to the caloric need of your body. Then you drink a big glass of water like 10, 15 minutes before you eat. And some people, you can squeeze some fresh lemon in too because it's alkalizing and it will help neutralize stomach acids a little bit. And it's good for your body. And you might like that. Some people do the lemon, you don't have to, but drinking a big glass of water before you eat is a good way to get water in. So your body's like, cool, we got the water. And then you'll actually feel as hungry as you are. And you're not going to feel as hungry. And it's not because, you have water in your system and that kind of pressure, your body thinks it's food in part, but a lot of it is also, your body knows it has water, so it doesn't have to signal hunger so much because you're actually giving water. A lot of people are chronically dehydrated for sure. Come on, think about all the Monster and energy drinks and rain and all these different things and fucking Starbucks and coffee. How many people are drinking tons and tons of water? You know, I mean, I have look, I have one for my coffee. I have like 7 of these. We got these like floating around the fucking house. These hydro flasks. They're stainless steel. You can put hot and cold in here. So sometimes I put coffee. I'll put ice water in here. If you put ice in it, it's going to stay fucking cold for a week. The ice cubes will be there all fucking day. I just fill up with water and I have this little thing. I carry it around. I go take it to the gym, to yoga. It's great. Just keep on drinking those. Keep on filling it up and chugging it. That's it. Yes, that's a good one. That's a good 50 to 60% body weight, not counting what you drink during a workout. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a ballpark. Anything with like, oh, multiply your body weight by 15 and you get your calories for, it's so fucking ballpark. It's so ballpark. You have to try it and see. But if you eat, for example, if Will says, okay, drink 60% or 50% of your body weight, you drink 60 or 70, you're not going to die. You just might feel a little bit full and your body will adapt to it, but it might be too much. But too much meaning that it's not going to hurt you, but it's like, all right, you drank a little bit extra water. You didn't need that much. Okay. It's more about like spreading it out. So the first thing you do in the morning, like if you have one of these, like 32 ounces, and yeah, I put some Celtic sea salt in my filtered water and you chug the whole thing. Don't drink coffee. Don't drink anything else. Don't start your day until you pound the whole thing. Drink it. You'll feel like bloated. Oh my God, your stomach will fill up. You'll be like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up water. You just chug one first thing in the morning. That's what I do. 16 to 32 ounces. Chug it. First thing when you get up, just before you even fucking do anything. Drink your water and then you'll drink more water throughout the day. Just get it started. Huge difference between starting the first thing that touches your lips being water rather than coffee. And chug a lot of water. Oh, there you go. You said that. Oh, Aaron, there you go. Yeah, so you do it too. Anyone else do that too? Chug a big thing of water first. We've talked about that before in the podcast. Yeah, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't drink any water throughout the day. Do any of you know how much you drink? I don't count. I don't measure how much I drink. Celtic sea salt? Yeah, you can buy it at the store. It's excellent. I've been using it for fucking years, like 7, 8 years. It's amazing. Amazing tasting salt, super high mineral value. On the talk of water, do you believe there'd be a difference in hard tap water versus soft? There's a difference. I don't really know what it is. I filter my water and then I add Celtic sea salt. I wouldn't drink distilled water. That doesn't have any nutrients, right? That's when you remove all the stuff in it. People use distilled water for like hygrometers and stuff for cigars or for certain apparatuses because you don't get those mineral deposits in whatever you're putting it in. So there might be certain applications for distilled water, but hard tap, soft, I would just recommend a good water filter. That way you have a neutralized source and it'll clean it a little bit before you get to it, just in case the pipes are X, Y, and Z. I'm not a water expert, but that's what I do. I have one of those pure, filters or whatever that does. And then I add my little Celtic sea salt. Yeah, make sure you add those BCAAs. Yeah, don't forget your BCAAs, fam. Make sure you drink tons of BCAAs. You're going to get all the results you want and you drink BCAAs. Shove them up your asshole. Sorry, got a lot of control there. My boss thinks I'm part camel because I've got 3 water bottles and a coffee cup at my desk. You're a camel if you don't drink water. Usually people call you a camel because you just never drink. You're like, what are you storing that shit in your humps? It's amazing. It's amazing how people seem to survive without water. They don't drink a lot of water during the day. I'm like, how are you not thirsty? No, I'm not thirsty. Bull fucking shit. You're dehydrated so hard and you ignore your body's signals that you just don't feel water anymore because you ignore. And your body doesn't even your body doesn't even care. You're like, all right, fuck it. This guy's not going to drink. I'm not even going to let him know. You just ignore that over and over again endlessly. You drink about 12 cups of coffee, 12 cups of water. You just said I just drink about 12 cups as I pour more coffee. Man, you shouldn't be drinking that much coffee, man. I'm just dumping fucking coffee into this cup. 12 cups of water is probably what you mean. Does 0% skimmed milk count towards your daily hydration? I would not count that, nor would I drink it. No, I would not. Other people might say otherwise, but I wouldn't count any hydration towards your hydration except for just pure straight water. I don't count my coffee. No, for me, it's water is water. That's how I do it. If you don't drink water, you're going to be super stressed out. Yeah, you can totally get blockages and acne and things like that. 12 cups of water. Good. Definitely not 12 cups of coffee. I'm like, bro, you got some issues. You got to be careful. The only thing I know distilled water is used for is people who use a CPAP machine, because that's the type of water that's supposed to be used for that. I don't know what that is. People use it for hygrometers, for cigars and stuff. Drink water, bitches, for clean skin and better life. Agreed. Good thing I can't afford anything but water. Less temptations. That's a very good point. The more water, Miss Mick GC on YouTube. The more water I drank, the more thirsty I thought I was getting. I was so confused why drinking more would make me more thirsty. Then I realized it was my body saying, finally, give me what I need. That's pretty accurate. That's pretty much how it works. When you drink a lot of water, you're also going to get your body used to drinking more water. So your body is going to start craving more water because like, oh, your body thinks, hey, we get more water now. We drink more water now. So it's going to start asking for water because it's used to having water. But it's a big thing. Water deprivation kills quality sleep. Well, considering that we run on water and that's like the most important thing that we need in our life, it kills everything. It kills us. If you don't drink water, you die of dehydration. Oh, I love that. When people go to the airport or something, they buy a little tiny bottle of water. Like, how are you going to drink all that only? Oh, this beard. Look at this trim. Look at this beard grooming job. This came out really nice. This came out really nice. How many of you checked out? Oh, did you guys all see the new APS? We're wrapping up here in a few. But how many of you checked out the brand new Ask Papa Swole? Make sure you go over there and watch it. If you're not subscribed on the main channel, if you're not subscribed here yet, hit the subscribe button and share and all that stuff. Also, make sure you check out today's video, Ask Papa Swole 97. We're coming up on a hundo. Ask Papa Swole 97. So went over some good shit, talked about skincare and some things like that. And I'll do some more detail on that if people were interested. I just didn't remember any of the names and shit. But what kind of salt do I use? Celtic sea salt. I have filters for fluoride, etc. I probably don't drink enough water. You probably don't. Thank you. Just like honey mead. Ooh, just like honey mead. I truly appreciate how honest you are between you and Michelle McDaniels. It's nice to find fit people who are kind and honest. Ooh, I'm kind. Papa Swole. Papa Swole. I don't know if I've been called kind. Kind. Papa Swole, you're so kind. Thank you so much for putting your nuts on people's chins. You're such a kind person. Blump. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch the Fatopia documentary. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to take the time to watch it. I think I said yesterday, I'm just going to go and watch his video and then make a video on that and pretend like I saw it. I think that's a better option. I'll read the title and make a video about it. But I heard it gives, has anyone else listened to that or watched it? I think someone said that it was showing both sides of it. It wasn't pro one way or the other. But again, I didn't watch it yet. But I still might make a video on it. Bring an empty bottle to the airport. Don't waste your money. Well, you have to still buy it. I'm not going to fill up with airport water. Holy shit. You want to fucking feel like asshole? Drink airport water. I don't like plastic bottled water anyway, but I'll bring my Hydro Flask. You dump it out, but then I buy one in there. $5 bottle of water. Airports rip. Airports a fucking rip. Thank you, Nicholas. Thanks for the support. Yeah, make sure you guys go check out that video, the Ask Papa Swole, and then drop your questions there because I'll be taking questions, and that way you'll maybe get in for the next episode or the next release. And then let's see, we got some more nuts coming, got some more nuts to drop. Just got a bunch of different things. I got so many videos and so many things. Make sure if you have anything that you come across that you might want to see a video on, cool shit that you find, you can hit me up. A good place is the DM, or you can, I don't know, anywhere you want to send me stuff, but DM is probably good. It takes me a while to get back to Instagram DMs. I get a lot of them. So just be patient, and I'll try to respond to every single one. Whether or not I can return to the conversation and keep it going, that's a whole other thing. But make sure if you send me a message, send me a message that has the question or what you want, what you would hope for me to see in the first message. Don't ask to ask a question. Don't be like, hey, can I ask you a question? Because I'll see that and be like, you should have. And then I'll go to the next thing and I might not see your shit. So it might just get lost. Instagram's not really the most optimal for messaging in terms of like the organization, stuff like that. So, thank you, James. Appreciate it. But thank you so much for everyone, following and supporting and subscribing. Also, not to mention that the APS on the main channel, but also if you haven't yet checked out the Daily Swole Clips channel, go show some love over there. So if you can't catch the entire podcast and you want to just kind of catch little snippets and highlights, go and subscribe to Daily Swole Clips. There's some sexy beach right there. Daily Swole Clips on YouTube. Oh, there's some butt. Baby girl, lay down so people can see you. Lay down. Lay down. Yeah, show people a sexy face. Say goodbye to everyone. Say goodbye to people on the Swole. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Anyway, so Daily Swole Clips channel, right here, Daily Swole podcast, and then the Swolenormous main channel. And I'm going to be bumping a bunch of shit, a bunch of stuff this week. Got some more, going to be just dropping bombs on the main channel. I'm turning shit up. It's going to get nasty. It's going to get schnasty. So I hope you're ready for it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1195 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Go and check out swolenormousx.com for all the links for the podcast, for the blog, for apparel, for memberships, for the Daily Swole Club, all that stuff. swolenormousx.com. And I'll see you all tomorrow for episode 1196 of the Sleaze. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out. I said out. I said out. Get out of here. Oh, I want to show Papa Swolio. One more time. Hey, look at you, sexy beach. Look at you. All right, fam. Peace.